I'm Ricky Willis. You might have seen me on TV, and now I'm taking on the podcast world. Join me as we dive into stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I believe everyone has a story we can learn from. Let's talk about yours. This is the Clever Conversations podcast. What's going on, baby? It's your man, Clever, with Clever Conversations, and today we have the absolute pleasure of being visited by Miss Teia Moore. Miss Teia is in the city. She is an entrepreneur. She is an advocate in the city. She's just everywhere. She has her own magazine, her own magazine. So please help me welcome Miss Teia. How are you, baby?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good to see you.
You too. I love this.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
So tell the people a little bit about, I know who you are.
Right.
But let's start off with a brief synopsis of who you are to people who don't know.
People are always saying you got to have your elevator pitch or whatever ready.
Right.
I don't ever have it ready. Like, basically, I'm just me.
But that's real people, though, who don't have it ready.
Yeah, I don't have a script or anything. It depends on who I'm talking to. I do a lot of things. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for 11 years in one business, 7 in the other.
So what are those businesses?
Yeah.
So
the first business that's 11 years old is Ebony and Ivory Professional Services. I help people get noticed.
Okay.
Yeah, like basically in your business, if you're a small business owner, I will help you get noticed, meaning your website, your EPK, if you're into the music thing or whatnot, banners, retractables, step and repeats, anything that
put us on your schedule.
Yeah. You don't need nothing. You don't need a thing. But yeah, so then the second business is Teia Acker-Resilient. When I started off with Ebony and Ivory, people were asking me personal things because I was going through a divorce, had lost my dad, lost my job, all that good stuff. Well, I won't say good stuff, but things happen. But then I started Teia Acker-Resilient because the personal side of me had to answer those questions. I couldn't just run from them. So with that, it came the mantra, I am resilient. And now I got everybody and their mama everywhere. And I love it because, I don't own the name. I don't own the word resilient. So anyone can be resilient, but I just love hearing it. I love when people are embracing it, they're sharing it, they're talking about it. I got people wearing yellow, finding yellow stuff. They like, Teia, I thought of you with this yellow dress. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
So with the I am resilient with that brand, mm-hmm. Is it primarily promoting and uplifting women?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Particularly African-American women. So it does not have a distinction for a particular race, but being that I am an African-American woman, I really want to uplift us first. And so the whole resilient movement, it just kind of took off. Now, it's for every woman, but I particularly catered to the African-American woman. And so hence where the Resilient magazine came from, which is 5 years old.
I'm in the store, and I see I Am Resilient, and I see Judge Tammy Stokes on it, and I'm like, that's my table.
Don't that make you feel good?
Man, listen.
So I'm trying to work on getting it in the Southeast, but everywhere else, people are like, oh my God, Teia, I just went in Harris Teeter and I saw your magazine, or I was in the South Holland Library in Chicago and I saw your magazine, and I was like, yes.
So how far is the spread on the distribution?
It's everywhere.
Okay.
Like, I can't even, right now we have 96,000 subscribers.
96,000.
Yes. Readers who are reading it every single month. We have those who are getting the hard copy. We have those who are getting the digital. Like, it's insane. It's getting ready to be on Bravo in a couple of weeks because September's cover is Shay Primus from Celebrity Matchmaker on Bravo. So she's throwing a party and everything in Atlanta in a couple of weeks.
Congratulations for the success on that.
Thank you, man. God is good.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
No, first, we got to talk about the other business. You said...
Well, I was talking about the magazine, and then
right.
My husband and I, we have a joint ownership in More Books, which we do advocating for reading, literacy, and, of course, selling books. So, that is his brainchild. I technically work for him. I tell people that.
Finally, we have a wife saying it.
Yeah, so he's Mr. Moore of More Books, and I work there. But nevertheless, we just... multiple streams, right? So,
Got
I've
to.
been in healthcare 20 years, long-term care, dementia, memory care. So that is still my brainchild, my baby. But outside of that, I heard my mentor say years ago, you could do everything to bill it for somebody else's last name. You better bill it for yours. So that's been the plan.
I accept that.
Yes.
I accept that. I take that.
Yes.
So, as far as the magazine, what was the thought process that started it? Were you at the grocery store one day? You was like, "No, we need this." So, how did that process?
So
work?
really, we were in the middle of COVID, and everybody's home, right? And growing up, I had Ebony, Jet, Essence, even Right On, Word Up.
I like Jet magazine.
Because that could fit in your pocket. You can take that with you. But no,
It had nothing to do with the Jet Beauty. Nothing to do with her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but it's okay. So I just said one day, like, wow, I'm not really seeing women who look like me. And when I say like me, they're not on the celebrity status or hype, but they really doing real stuff. And why can't they be celebrated? So now it's my mission to go find these women who nobody knows about, who's the mother, the doctor, the teacher, the judge, all of these different people who gotta wait until they get 1 million followers on Instagram to be relevant. Let me go find it. Let me go find the one with 3,000 that's doing something positive, and let me make her look important, because she is important.
Everything you just said spoke directly to me.
Wow.
The reason for Clever Conversations podcast is we want to have the voice of everyday people out.
Yes.
We understand that most podcasts are built on if you listen to rap music, you're going to listen to that podcast. If you're into politics, you're going to listen to that. If you're into golf or basketball, what we said is that everybody has a story. Let's talk about yours. So right along the lines of the single mothers, the single fathers, the divorcees, people with children with autism, just those are the people that we want to put out. We want to put those people out because, like you said, most people don't get noticed until you did something, until you did the extraordinary twice.
Right.
You don't get noticed so you don't get celebrated by people who should celebrate you.
Right.
And the thing about it is everybody deserves celebration.
Absolutely. Like, I think about the young lady who, I'm not going to name no names, but just told her story over TikTok in a matter of days. And now that has catapulted her to a whole nother realm. But think about the women who deal with that on a daily basis that nobody knows about it, but they still bounce back. They still take care of kids. They still go to work. They still get married again, divorce, whatever. Like, we just sometimes things don't make it to the forefront. They don't make it to the big stage. It doesn't mean it's not important. The person who is pulling the curtain at the show is just as important as the star of the show. Because if the person don't pull that curtain, we ain't gonna see the star.
We can't see them.
Right. So what I did was I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I give it to them quality. Because see, I know being a black owned but not black only business, I know the expectation is high. So I couldn't just come with regular paper, flimsy photos, whatever. So my standard was to those magazines that I grew up looking at. My standard is to Ebony. My standard is to Essence. And I don't consider them to be competition because I'm learning from them. So somebody else might say, well, if I go in the store and I see Ebony, I see Essence, they're more popular than Resilient Magazine, I'm going to go get them. That's fine. I'm not in competition with them. I just want, if I'm next to them, I've already won. Pete. I've already accomplished my goals. So even if I have 3, if they have 1 left and I have 13 left, I'm still on the shelf with them. So you can't hurt my feelings. Now, if I was, somewhere under where the dust, the bun,
move the machine, get out the store.
Yeah.
Oh man, so listen, so I just really celebrate your success on that.
I appreciate it.
And the mission behind it, right? The mission behind it, to me, says selflessness. It says we all can win, and I'm gonna do what I can do to try to help you. Like so you doing that, your whole mission, just everything you just said, just like really touched me because
I really
Listen,
believe in we win together. Like, I don't do anything by myself. When I get ready to go, if I'm going to do something for Forbes, my hair is getting done by a black owned business, my face is getting done by a black owned business, my nails are getting done by a black owned business. Like, I'm taking everybody with me. Somebody getting the clothes, whatever. And you may say it don't take all of that, but if I say we win together, that's what I mean.
we won.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to get on this flight with me to go to New York. You still there with me, you know? So
Because I'm on every trip with you.
Yeah.
On every trip.
Well, good. You can fly with me Wednesday.
So we got the 3 businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about family life, upbringing.
Yeah.
Let's tell the people a little bit about where you from and how did you get to where you are right now.
So I'm from Savannah. My mom was in the Air Force, so I would consider myself to be privileged to know a lot of things, but I'm still West Savannah, you know, and a lot of times people see me now and they just be like, oh, you know, I didn't know you were from here. And I'm like, yeah, look, I wore tiki punch on my head, on my fingernails, and I had 3 different hairstyles at one time. Like, I did all of that stuff. The thing about it is, you know, I grew up in a 2-parent household and I watched the Cosby shows and I wanted that.
Right.
I consider myself to be like a modern day Claire Huxtable. I dress and do things according to my age. I know I'm going to get older, so I'm not trying to go backwards. I don't want to look younger. I want to look.
We're not going back.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Shout out to that. But, you know, my dad was a truck driver. He dropped out of school in the 11th grade. He told us that straight up. Told me and my siblings sitting to a table one day. He said, I want to walk in the room and say, what's up, Doc? And all y'all turn around and answer. So, you know, like, we got a couple of possibles, but, you know, when he passed, he didn't leave anything to us as student loans. So he going to have to take these 3 masters and these couple of bachelors.
So how many siblings you have?
So in total, 5. I have 5 brothers in total, 4 biologically. And man, I'm the only girl. And that was very hard because that formed and shaped my life like no other. The way I think, my mannerisms. I was a tomboy all the way up until I just was like, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to put on a dress. You know, everybody keeps saying, hook me up with your homegirl, hook me up with your homegirl. So I'm like, well, wait a minute, maybe I should put on a dress. But it shaped me. I love sports. I grew up with that. Of course, grandma turned me on to the Young and the Restless. So shout out to the Young and the Restless, because I still watch that to this day. I don't care if I got to record it, check it out on YouTube, whatever.
Is that Miss Chancellor?
She died, but Victor's still there.
Okay.
Now, when Victor dies, in real life, I'm not watching it
Well,
anymore.
who shot JR, though? That's what we need
No,
to
that's
say.
not this one.
Different one? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's a different one. Yeah, but
That just shows I watched a lot of them.
that one came after the news, so that was a guarantee. You know, when you only got 4 channels to choose from, like...
I told my daughters, I said, y'all don't know this, but at some point, TV used to cut off. We didn't have 24-hour TV.
Right.
We had 3 channels, 4 if you count PBS.
Right.
And at 11 o'clock after the news, you get the national anthem, and then you get these 4 bars with orange red. Then after that, you get...
Frying. Yes.
It wasn't no... Oh, it's 1 o'clock. Let me go watch. It was none of that.
None of that.
They will never know how that feels to
Nah.
get that kind of rest.
That level of nostalgia. They would never know how
Never.
it feels to pay $1.99 to the box just to hear your favorite song, and you sitting here looking at all these videos like, I gotta go to bed in 10 minutes. Please play Adina Howard. Please. Because that used to be my request.
Oh, goodness.
But no, seriously. So I grew up in you know, quote unquote the hood. So I know hood things. I know how hood stuff move and how things go. So, you know, I'm very surprised to see how people do things now. I'm like, what? The hood never taught this much. The hood never did
What's
this.
these cameras?
What is this? You know, live, whatever. But, you know, it shaped me. Thank God for my grandma, who, again, 6th grade education. But you wouldn't know it because she would read and do business like she went to Harvard. So it shaped me. And when I had an opportunity to go off to Georgia Southern, that's what showed me, like, man, y'all think y'all, like, I'm best dressed. I'm coming in there best dressed.
Clean.
Failing.
I'm
Failing.
cleaner than the Board of Health
Yes.
picking up this F.
Yes. First report card spelled out decaf, literally. And I was just like, you know what? This doesn't even matter. This doesn't even matter. So, I love my roots, my upbringing. I have some genuine friends who have seen me through all walks of life. And that's why they really grow and appreciate where I am now, because they know this is not an act.
Right.
They know, like, listen. And I have those friends now that when people do crazy things on the internet, they call me like, sis, don't respond, because I know 1997 Tia wants to respond, but you cannot respond. And I'm grateful for that, because they keep me focused and keep me on the straight and narrow. So
we gotta have a good house team. Gotta have a good support back team, because it is real easy for us to be human and give it back. It's real easy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm a nice person. I feel like I tell people all the time, if you met me and you don't like me, what's wrong with you?
Right.
So-
That's how I feel. It's not an arrogant thing. It's like, I'm not going to bring no
just
problems
good
to your
people.
life. Right.
But it's that little switch. See, I have a high tolerance for ignorance and stupidity. But once that switch is gone, so it's good to have a team that's like,
Yeah.
turn that switch off.
Yeah.
Get your hand from off that switch.
Yeah, you gotta have I have a balanced team, so I don't have to, quote unquote. I feel like Frank Lucas sometimes when I'm talking to my team, because they're like, no, you're not doing that. We got this. Your hands don't have to get dirty on anything, but we gonna respond. And I have that one person on my team that's like, hey, take care of my dogs, pick up my child from daycare, and I'm going to drag so-and-so because I didn't like what she said. And I'm like, no.
It's always somebody
It's
on
the
your team
weekend.
that you have to back. Like, listen, no.
Right. No, she didn't mean that. I don't even know this girl. We're not even Facebook friends.
We're
Please.
going to let this one slide.
Yes.
That is hilarious. So we're having 4 brothers. I'm sure your life was protected. So how did dating, with having 4 brothers, were you the youngest?
I'm not. I have a younger brother.
So you were...
I am next to last.
Okay.
Yes. But my brothers weren't the issue. It was my dad. My dad, everybody who came over, my dad would ask them how much they weigh. And so one guy would ask me, like, why your dad ask that? And I said, well, ask him. And he was like, oh, I just want to know how many pallbearers you're going to need. I'm like, well, it's only 6 regardless. It's 6 regardless.
Well, not if they weigh 30 pounds. 30 pounds we could do 4. You know what I mean? Just for balance purposes.
But, he would just all of a sudden act like he want to clean weapons and just the most. Want to come sit in the middle of the living room, like you over here, you just sitting right there. But, I appreciate him. I got clowned a lot coming up. Like, your parents were so strict. They won't let you come off the porch, this, that, and the other. I'm like, yeah, but, I had my first kid when I was 26.
Come through.
After having 2 degrees.
Come through.
So it was like, I hated them at the time. My dad drove me to prom. Where my date, Daddy? Oh, I ain't responsible for that. I can't even say what he said. But I was like, wait, you just taking me by myself? Like, that's not how this works.
I know back in the 30s, but this...
Well, he was born in the 40s. So
I'm just saying.
Maybe that was it. But, the reality of it is I felt like they were just doing the most. And then now, just looking at how life is, I realized, like, man, y'all saved me.
You appreciate it, right?
Yes, because my parents, like I said, my father truck driver, mom in the military, I could have been doing God knows what, because I was a whole adult at 11 years old.
Listen, I'm sure.
I mean, cooking,
military parent?
Cooking, writing bills out, because my mom got sick when I was 11. And so going to see her in the hospital and making sure it's between medication time so she could sign the bottom of this, what it was, Savannah Electric at the time. So I'm handling these things. I'm taking transfer trips on the city bus, just trying to get to these different places. I'm 11. So it's like, if I really wanted to be Bebe's Kids Fun World, I could have, but it was just because that foundation was there. Grandma was there, aunties, everybody had expectations for me. They really thought I was just going to go somewhere with this saxophone, but, I didn't make Beyonce band, so that was the end of that.
So you play sax?
I played alto saxophone.
Me too.
Yeah, really? That's what's up.
Yeah, but I'm not good, though. So there's
I mean,
that.
I was decent.
What was your favorite solo to play?
A touch of jazz, anything. Well, no, you know what? In the spirit of James Earl Jones, The Lion King had the best melodies for a saxophone.
Okay.
So playing those Hakuna Matata pieces, Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Matata.
Yeah. Oh man, listen, saxophone. Trumpets take everything, but
Yeah, they not us though.
the brass take everything. But the woodwinds hold it down all the time.
My favorite was the solo from Phil Collins' Man Eater.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was my favorite, and I got into the jazz ensemble at the middle school I played at, and so I was able to do that. But my family into music, so
rightfully so.
So all right, so you grew up in Savannah. What school did you go to? Let's talk about a little bit.
So I went to all things Garden City.
Okay.
That's what my friends say. But it just because of where we live. I mean, I went to Bartow Elementary originally, and then I was supposed to go to Point Wentworth, and my mom was a huge advocate of making sure kids had what they needed. Like, she would be on PTAs of schools that, like, none of your kids are here, ma'am. Like, let those parents figure it out. But that's just not what she was. So she was like, there's a school right down the street, up the street, round the corner, and why would she have to go to Point Wentworth? And I'm like, I want to go there, though. That's why all my friends are going.
Are there,
right.
Mom.
So I went to Windsor Forest Elementary first, and then I was supposed to go to Point Wentworth, and she was not having it. I ended up at Bartow because my younger brother, the baby sibling, is always like the gifted, the talented one. So I got into certain schools just because I was his sibling.
Right.
So he makes a joke about it now. Like, everywhere I go there, like, are you Tia's brother? And I'm like, no, y'all really don't understand that I have been Tyrone's sister all my life. Like, I'm trying to do what he's doing. And then I went to Mercer Middle School, home of the Raiders. And
Raiders.
And then Groves High School.
Okay.
Celebrating 25 years in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So after high school,
after high school,
education.
I wanted to go to Clark Atlanta. And I'm going to put one of my friends on blast, right?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
I'm putting her on blast because I wanted to go to Clark Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay? So then she said...
Are we telling her name?
Yes, her name, her name is Joy.
Right here. Please,
Joy.
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 Let's get Joy.
I won't do her middle name,
Mosley.
We'll
just go with Joy. We'll just go with
I
Joy.
love her to
no
death.
middle name, Mosley.
Mosley, right?
Yes. We love you to death.
I love her to death. So she said, Tia, I want to go to Georgia Southern. She was the first person in our high school class to get a college acceptance, right? So we walking by this board that they had, and she got accepted to Georgia Southern. This is my friend. So I'm like, okay, well, let me look into it. Next thing I know, I'm going to Georgia Southern. She going to Albany State. So I'm like, girl,
Joy,
I could have went to my
Joy.
CAU, but it doesn't matter. I had a great experience. I ended up being a roommate with one of my best friends since 5th grade. So it all worked out.
It brought you kind of back home.
Yeah,
you kind of was able to be home.
Atlanta was,
Yeah, but maybe if you would have went to Atlanta, we wouldn't have resilient.
I would have had some type of resilience. Maybe it would have been a brand, though.
Maybe it would have been one of those doctor things we was talking about. I don't know. I'm grateful that the path you took is the path you took.
Yes.
That sits you right here.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for that path.
Yes.
So thank you, Joy.
Right. Thanks, Joy. I'm not mad at her for real, but I was just like, what? That's the whole... And I wasn't really trying to go to Albany State. I really wanted to go to Clark because my father's side of the family lived in Atlanta, so I knew I had that support. And I wanted that HBCU experience, and I wanted to go as far away from home from being an adult at 11 as I possibly could. So, but it all worked out. No hard feelings.
When my daughters got to college age, I told them, so you can go to any college you want, as long as it's 4 hours from wherever I live.
That's fair. Got to be able to get to them.
I feel like if something happened and I need to get to you, I don't need to have to take 3 flights, a boat, ride a bike for a little while to get to you.
Well, see, originally I was thinking about Syracuse because my mom lived in New York 23 years, and she was like, Tia, no.
Yeah.
You don't even want to wear a jacket.
Yeah, so, it gets cold.
Yeah.
And it's 16 to 19 hours away, depending on the drive. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what did we study in school?
So, I originally went to school for exercise science kinesiology. I wanted to be an athletic trainer in the NFL.
Thank you, because I was going to say, what was it?
Kinesiology.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, exercise science. Actually, I did get a degree in that. So class 2003 from Georgia Southern, and then health science class 2004. However, I was going to transfer to Auburn, which is why I'm a huge Auburn fan. They had the best sports medicine program in the country. I'm a huge Auburn fan. But I had an NFL experience that kind of tainted me. So shout out to a really good friend named Janae Jenkins, goes by Jay Jenkins. And he turned me on to the sports management club while I was at Georgia Southern. Signed up for the NFL experience. Super Bowl is in Atlanta. Like, oh my God. My mom was like, no, you're too young. You don't need it. And I'm like, yes, this is my plan. I'm going to be an athletic trainer. I'm going to find an athlete. I'm going to be a wife. And I'm not doing any of this. I'm not working, period. That was the plan. I was going to marry an athlete and I still ended up marrying an athlete, but, NFL athlete was the plan, right? So, God, I really got to be specific in these prayers. Nevertheless.
It's about the details.
Yeah, it's definitely about the details. But nevertheless, when I went to the experience, they had me folding towels and filling water bottles. I never forget, I met Jamal Anderson, and he had like this locker with breast milk in it and all kind of stuff. And we were just making sure that everything was straight. And I was like, no, I want to wrap an ankle. I want to run across the field. I want to make sure somebody's okay. And they were just looking like, no. We have guys right here that are going to do that. And I really wish I stayed with it, because years later, there was a woman with the Pittsburgh Steelers that became the first female head athletic trainer for the NFL. And I was like, you know what? I got to stop quitting in the middle. In the middle of stuff, because, I could have been number 2 or number 3 or whatever.
Could have been number 1.
Could have been. You just, you never know. But I had a plan, so I wouldn't have been number anything.
Right.
I was going to be at work, clocked in. Hey, is that a rookie? You want to get married? I don't want to do this anymore.
So today's your first day.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I am
your-
Aquarius. I like long walks.
Exactly. I mean, I'm being honest. That was my plan. So I got into health science because I had to have an intern, and my younger brother, remember I told you, smart, gifted, whatever, he was graduating from college before me. So now you got the rest of the family like, well, when you gonna get finished? So now I'm hitting y'all with this, but I got 2 degrees. So that's what's taking me twice as long, right? So I do the health science thing, and I take an internship at Memorial at the time before it became HCA, take an internship, and I just fell in love with helping people. Like, I took a part of my life that I did behind the scenes and brought it to a place of employment. And so hence 20 years later, I still help people. People call me all the time like, hey, my dad has dementia. What can I do? You need to go here, do this, that, and the other. Like, I still love that channel. I even became an administrator at some point. Yes, executive director. And then I had my first hurricane evacuation. And I'm like, oh my God, my mom, my husband, my kids are in one hotel, and I'm over here at a facility with my residents,
Well, the helping people part, that even shows through your businesses, right? Because with the more books, with the advocating for literacy, with helping, with the resilient, with pushing individuals and helping people who would probably not get that light. That's helping people. So all of that is just instilled in you. Like,
absolutely. I'm the ministry of the helps. That's what I do. I mean, I just don't like to win alone. And I know the older I get and the more I say that, I'm going to regret it just because people are going to put me in that position. However, I just feel like, it's like being the rich one in your family and everybody still broke and poor. Like, how can you really come around them and celebrate and be, really feel at ease if somebody needs something?
Yeah.
So it's like, look, if it's anything I can do, my team of writers, they've never even written on that level before, but 4 of them had books outside of this magazine. I told them, turn your articles into a book, make it work for you. Have a seminar, host classes, do whatever, because I don't want this to be a me thing. This is a we thing. So as long as we winning, I want you to be successful. I want you to make more money than me. I want you to go further than I do, because at the end of the day, I created this with someone else in mind.
So I was the foundation on the bottom bricks of this building, of this house, this home. Yeah. So that's just strong, because a lot of people, they want to be the only one in the room, if you will. They want to be the only one.
Right.
I'm an advocate for whatever happened to me on the upside, I didn't do it by myself.
Right.
So I say religiously every day at work, somebody asks for whatever, and I do it. Thank you, Ricky. It's so great. I said, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yep.
Teamwork makes the dream. Because even when you think of, like, if I'm doing a commercial, I didn't make the beat.
Right.
I didn't produce it. I didn't get it sounding that you want to hear it in your car. I didn't edit it. So teamwork. It took a whole team of people to make these things happen. I'm a firm believer of teamwork make the dream work.
Oh, absolutely. Tom Brady is my favorite quarterback, but he
Is
would
that
not.
the football air thing?
Listen.
No, I was just asking, because I'm really not a sports fan, so I was asking.
That's him. That's you.
The guy who let the air out the football?
Inflatable 8 or something like that. Yeah, whatever.
No, it's called Inflategate or something like that.
Something like whatever. I mean, none of that matters.
He is, from my understanding.
He's a winner.
From my understanding, well, cheated, but
but a cheater is still a winner.
Because
you don't like the method.
Okay, yeah,
of what they did.
Listen,
you don't like how they won.
I'm not even in this sport. I'm not even in the sports at all. I just knew the name, and that was my time to say something.
My whole point was to say that he didn't win on his own.
But he won a lot of. How many wins do they have?
A lot.
Like 18?
Like a lot. They're tied with Pittsburgh Steelers, so we don't have the most wins anymore, but tied with Pittsburgh Steelers. But my point to that is, well, maybe let me not even use him. Just in general, no one can win. Nobody can win truly by themselves.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I can just imagine the people that's on your team that's under you, if you will. I can imagine, just sitting here talking to you, I can imagine that they feel that. They feel like it's not just about her. Some people, and then people in power positions, it's about me. It's me. Turn the camera over here because it's me. I just chopping it up with you. I just feel like it's about us. It's about we.
Well, it is, but you got to be careful with people come with their own agenda, because I've had people on my team who started their own magazine while working at mine. And I was just like, well, where they do that?
Using your
like, I could not understand it. The thing about it is there's no hate and bone in my body. So once I found that out, I'm going to wish you well. I'm going to be the one to buy you a first issue, because I don't ever want you to think that my energy is going to change because you a snake or you grimy or you did whatever you did. I've had people on my team that I called friends. I've had people even outside of the businesses. I've dealt with so many people who now I'm like, wow, I can't even share memories on my phone, on my social media, because I'm like, nope, I don't talk to that person anymore. I don't deal with this person anymore. And it was no beef.
Right.
And how I'm at peace with it is the only way people would know in the street that me and you don't deal with each other is if you told them. Because I'm not walking around saying, hey, y'all saw what she did.
Right.
If I see you, I'm going to speak to you. If I embrace you, I'm going to hug you. Because if I ever had any type of love for you, that didn't go away.
Right.
It was genuine.
Yeah.
I just know how to deal with you. You're not coming nowhere else with me. You're not moving forward. But
and today's probably your last day.
Absolutely.
I don't think we
absolutely. When I'm not dealing, I separate myself from people quietly. It's not, you're not getting no posts out of me. You're not getting no text message thread that you got to open the bottom arrow because now I done went over the page limit. You're not getting that from me. But when you lay your head down at night, you know what you did. Right. And as long as you could go to sleep at night, hey, so can I. Yeah. Ceiling fan on, mouth wide open and everything.
It won't be never be a situation where somebody walk up on you in the street and you be like, and such and such, this, such and such. In those situations, what I say is, whatever they say, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm not even acknowledging.
No.
Like
whatever they say, I'm cool with it. Listen, we don't have to do it. If they said it, Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have people, hey, what happened to you and so and so? Y'all used to be real tight. Yeah. All is well.
Yeah.
I don't have a comment. I'm
Right.
not, the only comment I would even think about having is if I could put it in a book and you buy the book. So now I
Come
just
through
won
with the
off of
brand.
this. Yeah, I won off of this because it's not no tell all for free. I won off of this. Okay, they not friends no more. Okay.
Oh, so now let's talk about your home life, family, children, husbands. Let's talk about a little bit about that. You said you were divorced already?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I was married 10 years prior, 2 kids. We got a divorce when they were 3 and 5. They are currently 14 and 16, soon to be 15 and 17. Their dad and I are amicable now. We were not always. I think for us, we were young and very influenced by people who we should have.
Family and friends.
Yeah, we should have investigated their situation and been like, you know what, you can't really tell me nothing. However,
This your 6th marriage?
right. So hindsight is always 2020. We are very amicable now. He's remarried, so have I. It's different for me because my mom had 2 sons, my dad's son, and it was, me and my brother. And I was just like, I didn't grow up in the step anything generation.
Right.
My dad was their dad before he was my dad. So growing up, I never questioned, why we got different last names. I never thought about that because we weren't raised to go talk to your mama.
Right.
Type situations. Go call your dad. So everything was new to me. When I first got married, he had already had a daughter. I embraced her like she was my own. And then I ended up having my own kids. Now, in my current marriage, he has a huge family. That's different for me because my family is very private, low key. Like they gonna get together for a couple of occasions, a wedding, a funeral, a graduation, maybe a Christmas or a Thanksgiving. That's it. It's no cookouts. It's no somebody just turned 18, then somebody else just turned 25, then somebody no. So that was overwhelming for me.
Your husband's family is huge.
Beyond huge. It's so huge that the family names are 4 different family names. Like the average family names, you look at a family reunion t-shirt, it is 1 name, but it's 4 names. And I'm like, oh, I'm an introvert when it comes to this side of life.
we have so many cousins. Mm-hmm. I've never met them all.
Yeah.
And some of them live here.
Yeah. I could believe it. It's to the point now where he introduced me to somebody. I'm just like, okay, this is just another cousin to you. Just don't even try to put it in your memory bank because you might not see this person again. Just focus on the fact that there's 1 more cousin. So when you get home, go to your little tally board and just say, okay, cousin number 280. I met them today. Like that's what it is. And they are all so close and funny and interact with each other and just know different things. And I'm like, I didn't grow up that way. So it's a little different.
Yeah. And I understand that one of his cousins, had like some karaoke battles or something like that. And I understand that you lost a whole bunch of times. And
I don't know about lost because I don't know about that. No. Me. Let me sip my wine and see if it comes. Let me see if it comes.
And I'm going to sip my bourbon.
Because the thing about it is, I know my range. When I'm doing karaoke, I'm only going to pick guy-led songs.
Okay.
Because this baritone can, I'm going to stay alto to the bottom. I'm not even going to try anything else.
I'm more of a Mariah Carey, high pitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not even. I'm not even attempting. No, that's not happening. We're not doing that.
Which brings me to the point that we are overdue for our karaoke battle.
We absolutely are. We absolutely are.
Me. I've been practicing.
Oh, okay. I have not. So.
Well, you should. You probably need some practice. You probably need a little practice because I've been practicing and I'm ready.
Oh,
for
okay.
our annual karaoke battle.
Annual. It's coming
Listen,
up.
we have a karaoke
It's
battle
coming up.
every year, and I've been winning for the last
You've been winning by default because you were the host.
and you let me win?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
Basically.
I don't
Basically. I won by myself until you all did the Temptations. And that's anybody wins when they can do that. When you start off with In My Mind, I was like, you know what? I done lost.
see in my mind. That's your husband line.
That's his line.
That's his
But
line.
no, you know what? They turned him into blues part now, so he got blues part. So he don't get to start off. He gets to do the Merry Christmas part from the Temptations. That's him.
All right. So
But yeah.
as an entrepreneur, what was one of the most difficult things one of the most heaviest hurdles to leap in that process of being an entrepreneur, whether it's the first, second, or third business? What is, if we can go back, think the very worst situation that you had to deal with in doing that, what would that be?
So come closer. The worst thing about being an entrepreneur that you have to master, whether you're in year 1 or year 91, is getting over people, getting over the opinions of people, getting over not feeling like you're not good enough, you're not going to be accepted, getting over the fact that people who know you are not going to support you. You know what? Listen, the one thing that truly irked me, I'm talking about irked me so bad, I saw so many people, I had people texting me like, hey, get on this Zoom. You know, we're trying to get 1 million people in the room for Kamala Harris. And I'm not knocking her. First of all, she's a Black educated woman. So I'm going to applaud that. But I'm like, did you mean to text me? You hadn't texted me in, what year is this? You don't subscribe. You don't push support anything. You don't even share a free flyer. You don't even hit share from your one muscle in your pointer finger.
Just the pointer finger.
Yes. And you want me to do what? And I get it. You know, she's about to be the leader of the free world. Here, you just somebody I went to high school with. I get that. But the level of support that people will go through for strangers and somebody that they have access to, that they know personally, that you call and say, my child selling popcorn for her team. I don't eat the popcorn. I just buy it. My child doing this, or Tia, I'm in a funk. Can I borrow some money from you? Whatever.
Can I just bend your ear?
Yes. All this free game, this free knowledge, this stuff that I've been doing for years, and I'm still not enough. I'm still not relevant enough. I'm still not, you don't have $15 to put towards a magazine that your sis, as you addressed me, is doing, but you will go and comment under Beyonce as if she's going to reply back.
And buy her $90 bottle of
So
liquor.
I'm just like, you know, let me state the obvious. There's no hating bone in my body, but I'm like, where is the reciprocity? Like, for real. And so as an entrepreneur, you got to be prepared to be accepted in places and accepted by strangers. Up until last year, I hadn't won anything in Savannah. I got 3 awards from Savannah. And I can tell you the 3 people who gave them to me. And it's like, are you kidding me? I done been to Forbes and back. I done been to Mahogany. I'm doing stuff in California. I'm doing stuff. I'm literally everywhere I go representing Savannah and Houston because the business is in Houston. But I'm just like, what more do I have to do to prove I'm down? I'm with y'all. I'm with us. This is not about me. Yada, yada, yada. You know, and it's unreal. It's unreal to think. The most recent thing I heard about myself, somebody said I was a narcissist. And I said, well, please tell them to spell it first. Because I don't argue with nobody who I feel like this going to be a way. If 1 + 1 is 5 for you, I'm not going there with you. Because at this age, at 43, I don't want to take any blood pressure medicine or anything. And I know you're going to take me there. Because this is about to be some furniture moving situation.
I'm a what? I'm a what?
Right. So I was like, a narcissist? So I said, okay, fine. whatever you say I am, I'm going to be that. Because there's no way at this point in my life, I have been an open book for people. I have been a punching bag. I have been the next day conversation in the workroom. I have been the rumor mill. I've done all these things. So at this point, whatever you're going to believe, you're going to believe. You're not talking about how many people I fed. You're not talking about how many clothes and giveaways I gave. Just because you don't see it on social media, I got receipts. I don't need a photo. I got an accountant that's looking at me every year like, why in the hell are you giving all this money away? Why are you donating to this? Why it is not tied to your cause. It's not tied to your purpose. These people are not supporting you back. And I'm like, man, you just don't understand. Where I come from, somebody had to give me something to wear. Where I come from, somebody had to feed me at one point. Where I come from, mama gave me a ride. Where I come from, I wanted to play a certain sport. My parents could not invest into that. So I get it. But at the same time, I'm just like, you know what? I ain't defending nothing. It is what it is.
Listening to you talk just took me back to your mother helping other people at other schools and the PTA. So everything that you were just saying just now, I was just like, you are your mother. That is your mother's energy given back to people and purposes that's not yours. But again, that comes back to being selfless. The word for today, boys and girls, is selfless. No, that just comes back to that. But everybody's not like that. Some people is like me.
You know what?
I want to
and
be
I'm
the
not
only
mad
one.
at them. The older you get, you're going to come a little bit from the selfless to the selfish. I'm in my selfish phase. When I turn 43, I say it's going to be 43 and me. So I'm saying no more than I've ever said. And it really causes my phone to be dry. I'm sitting here like, no, nobody's texting me. Nobody, because they don't need anything because they already know that the answer is no. But back in the day, they didn't know that I'm going to the store getting a cash advance to give you money that I really need.
All right. So what you're saying is if I was like, can I borrow $500 till I get on my feet? It's probably going to be
Depends
a no.
on who you are.
Me.
You don't need 500.
Okay, sorry. Let's go into...
You don't need 500. What you would ask me for, I wouldn't even have to give you. So,
listen, what I asked you for, you definitely gave me. And that is of your very important time because it is so many things that you could be doing right now. Whether that's business, whether that's with the family, whether that's work, whether that's just your you time. So we appreciate you chopping it up with us on Clever Conversation.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely difficult to even carve out time. Like, I dropped my daughter off this morning. She in this band thing.
Okay. What, she saxophone?
No, so she plays the flute, but she opted to not do marching band and be dance instead.
Okay.
So right now she's not doing that. She's doing Savannah Youth Commission. So, try to keep her hands in different things because I'm like, look, you're not going to have student loan debt. So let's keep this resume strong. Let's keep this resume strong.
Student loan debt is real.
It really is.
It's a real thing. All right, so let's talk about a moment that during your journey, you was like, y'all could just have all this, man. I ain't really feeling this, man. Like a moment that you almost felt like giving up. That you felt that you was at the bottom of the well and getting ready to go down the drain in the water tornado.
Yeah, that just happened. That was just this year. Like I have weathered so many things, like I said, going through a divorce, losing my dad, losing my grandma, just losing a job, all of this stuff. I had battled that. But I think with my husband's stroke, that literally put me at a plateau. Like I literally was like, man, I don't want to do anything anymore. I don't want to be a parent. I don't want to be a wife. I don't want to do business. I just want to go somewhere and look at some water and just chill. Eat off the land, like make me a little sandwich, go to sleep. Because that was the first time in my adult life that I had to shoulder everything with a straight face. And I blame myself because I had this mantra, I am resilient. So now I'm my own story. I also had a daughter because my son lives in Atlanta now with my ex-husband. So I have my daughter here. I'm trying to be this hero for her. Everybody is looking to me like, oh, you're just so strong. How are you doing it? And I got like 3 real friends who are like, girl, no. I know you about to like snap, crackle, and pop somebody upside their head or just check all the way out. And that's how I felt because I was not prepared for that. I just witnessed my dad being sick. And because I'm the healthcare advocate, my parents put me as the POA for healthcare stuff. So you don't have time to cry. You got to answer questions.
Yeah, I call this insurance
then,
company.
right. So then now being the spouse, you don't have time to cry. You got 1,000 family members asking you, what's up? Any changes? Any this, any that? And it's like, then you got your friends who you've always been the strong friend. So now you don't know how to be weak. You don't know how to be vulnerable. Now you're over here journaling. You're going to the stranger every Monday, paying $25 in a copay to tell her something. And by the time you leave, you done empowered her. So you're like, well, man, am I going to get a refund? So it was just a moment where I was just like, oh, wait. Because I felt like the goals and the plans that I had, they were not going to happen. And I'm grateful that he is doing amazing. My daughter is great. Like everything kind of went back to some level of normalcy. But in that moment, you could not tell me that this was not like, it felt like you ever drove down the road and you're going in the right direction, but nobody told you the road was closed. So you get to the very end, like you don't waste gas, time, and you get to the very end and it's like, oh, this road is closed.
Did you talk to my GPS? Because I just did it.
And it's the most frustrating feeling because you're like, dang.
And you done drove 23
yes.
on the straight stretch by itself.
Yes. And it's like, dang, I got to turn around. And now you're looking like I got to start all over. And now I'm too old to start all over. And then now what's life like on this side? And how do you do this and how you do that? Like it was, yeah.
So what was the coin flip on that? Because obviously you didn't give up. You didn't stop. You didn't, you continued through. So while you going, just like, man, listen, all of this, I'm not really feeling this. Was it a conversation that somebody made or something somebody may have said? Or did you see your daughter face and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Superwoman, let's make this happen. What do you, if you know what that was? Because sometimes we don't really know. We just know that we did it. We don't really know what the thing was that gave us that extra courage to kind of like Popeye. Mm-hmm. When he was feeling weak,
spinach, yeah.
That spinach, then it must be like, well, not like to be bigger than this, but still, So
I think for me, I'm not a real super spiritual person. I love God, and so I put it back on him like, man, you've been here 43 years. Like, every thought that I've had, every dream that I wanted to accomplish, and he put it back on me. Like, you have never been with anybody or in any city or been responsible for anything that I didn't see you through to the end.
I will not give you more than you can handle.
Yeah, absolutely. So you good. Now you could just drown out all this noise around you that's making you think you're not good. But yeah, you're going to be straight.
I need you to remember
that
you're going to be straight.
Yeah, I immediately channeled myself back to that 11-year-old girl. And I'm like, man, I'm 43 now.
If I could do it at 11.
Yeah. At 11.
I'm good at 43.
I'm good at 43. Yeah. Regardless of what, regardless if people come, they go, health increase, health decrease, or whatever. Like, he's consistent and constant. So that was the one thing that I channeled on. Like, okay, God, you got me from 11. So, I mean, hey.
I'm going to take your word.
40, I'm going to take your word for it. And so I just, whatever downtime I had, take my stuff to the hospital, take my stuff to the games to support her. Whatever downtime I had, I still worked on my plan because at the end of the day, he told me he got me. So that's what it is.
And when he tell you that, he mean it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so with the stuff that you do in the community and being an activist, what motivated you to do this? You know what? I want to help out this in the community. I want to do this. I want to do that, whatever it is. what motivated you to do that?
So I'm going to say that in two parts. What motivated me to do it publicly was I felt like people needed to see someone who they knew on both sides of the coin doing it. I know what it's like to eat free lunch like it's Thanksgiving.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Or summertime park lunch like it's Thanksgiving.
Guilty.
I mean, making deals. Give me the plum.
Yeah,
I give you my...
Hey, let me get that juice. What's up with that sandwich?
That thing was ice cold getting out of the pool at YMCA. But so I felt like I owed it to. I adopted the street that I grew up on. Every year I walk through and the blight homes, I hold them accountable for it. Now, yeah, I'm not making no grandstand about that, but you can ride on the street that I grew up on, Millen Street, West Savannah.
West Side.
And you will see that it has been adopted by Ebony and Ivory Professional Services. That's well over 10 years now. Paint, we have people who come and cut people's grass, all of those different things, because that's my way of showing them like, this is my block. This is my city. This is my territory. This is my area. I want it to look nice. I want it to be better. What do I have to do to help take care of that?
That's one of those things. You can take me off Millen, but you can't take Millen out of me.
Oh, absolutely.
That's huge.
I did Meals on Wheels. I did Meals on Wheels with heels on.
Come through.
Yeah, because the people had to eat. I'm feeding cats. They had the little igloo or their little cooler on the porch. Get out of the Meals and Wheels, put it on there, put the cat food or the dog food, whatever. I did that. I don't consider that to be grunt work. These are my people, but I don't look for a platform to share that. I feel like it's not as genuine if I'm just coming up to you and then I say, hold on, I got to run to my car. Can we get a picture of me holding this free meal that you getting ready to eat? Like, it's a dignity thing to that.
Yeah.
So I don't do that. My husband and I, we have went to Crystals. Shout out to Trail, manager of Crystals. We bought all these crystals and we would go in the tent city, feed people. We don't have no photos from that. The thing about it is, I went private because I felt like people only wanted to glorify what they saw. So at this point, I'm like, okay, no, I don't need any of that. If I have to prove to you that I love my city by showing you a notebook or a photo album of receipts, then that is not genuine.
Yeah.
I'm not running for nothing. I don't need anything. I'm not asking for anything. Nobody can ever say that Teia called them and said, can I send you my Cash App? Can I do that? No.
Well, when you asked me to Cash App me to let you win, but we're not gonna talk about that. So, what advice, would you give somebody that's thinking about starting in business now?
The advice that I would give them is plan it somewhere else from where they live.
For example, if you live in Savannah, don't.
That's in the Bible, that a prophet is not praising his own town. That's in the Bible. It's like somebody else wrote that. We just live in that. And it's not to say that people won't gravitate to what you're doing, but sometimes people got to see other people gravitating to what you're doing. Sometimes in relationships, it takes the woman in the grocery store to say, excuse me, sir, what cologne is that you wearing? For your significant other to be like, oh, well, you do smell good. I've been wearing this with you for 30 years. I go down aisle 5 and all of a sudden I'm a hero.
All of a sudden now you smell it.
Right. But it's just the little things because people take for granted their relationship with you. They take for granted their access to you. So when you plant something and you plant it someplace where people don't have access to you, they can't call you, they can't connect with you, you have a better reach with them because at the end of the day, they're buying into what you're doing. People buy into who you are before they buy into what you're selling. So if I'm drawn to who you are, it doesn't matter whether I know you, whether we cousins, whether we went to school together, all of that plays no factor into it. And then now you bring that back here and you say, okay, now this is what I got going on. I didn't start my magazine here. I started all my other businesses here, but I didn't start my magazine here because I did not want to feel the emotions of Oh my God, Lil Wayne said it so best yesterday about not being prepared for the letdown. I didn't want to see people skip over my stuff in the grocery store. I didn't want to see you intentionally go buy a Vibe magazine, even though you're not even into that, just because mine was next to it. And, for whatever reason, because it's always for whatever reason. So I would rather it be in a state that I can't get to right now. Somebody got to take a picture of it in the store and send it to me because I'm not there and see, or I'd rather read my Walmart sales and be like, okay, wow, these strangers are buying this. I had somebody, my first subscriber lived in Idaho. I was like, we got black people in Idaho?
It's like 6.
Like, yeah, but I was so like, thank you. Like, because again, I would encourage someone who's starting right now to just honestly start from a place that they don't have access to. I started changing my social media to say I lived in this place and I lived in that place and I lived in this place just so that I could reach people that I didn't have access to, but I could be connected to by some commonality. And that was the magazine or one of the businesses. And that would just be my advice.
Okay.
You don't have to follow it, but that's
no, that's good. I mean, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I definitely subscribe to the notion that people, once they know you or who you are and what you represent, actually after that point, what you're selling is sold, right?
Right.
Because I know people who I don't think I would let them give me a free lottery ticket.
Right.
Because I know you.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's people that can say, this is a free ticket to a game. And I'll get in my car and go to the game knowing that these people, because I know you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I do subscribe to that. So.
You got to think about it like this right here. I had a young lady reach out to me and she says, hey, I see what you're doing. I cannot financially support you, but I won a free flight from Southwest. What is your email address? I'm going to send you this free flight because you travel all the time. Come
on, man.
We're not friends like that. We are very close. We're not friends like that. We didn't grow up together. She doesn't know my nickname.
Right.
She doesn't know things about me that closer than close knows. But I have friends who work in hotels who have never said, sis, I see you traveling doing all of this stuff. If you ever need a night stay, I got you. Never. 80,000 Hilton points later because I sponsor my own stuff. I mean, granted, it's a write-off through the business, but that just shows you the nature of people and their investment. Now, if I were to make it, quote unquote, I got to stand up there on the stage and people are going to feel robbed if their name is not called. If I don't pull out this sheet and say, after I want to thank God, my husband and my family, I want to thank Pookie and them who always, protect the bully from me like I haven't seen y'all in 30 years.
I want to thank Tisha for every time I went to the W, she gave me a room.
Right. Like it's unreal. But that just shows you people don't owe you anything. But if they believe in you, they're going to do whatever they can do to invest in you. Even if it's just, look, I'm praying for you. I'm praying you have a safe trip.
Yeah.
I'm praying you get back safely. I'm praying for your family while you gone. Like simple stuff like that. It doesn't cost anything to support people. People just feel like, I ain't going to do it. Yeah. And that's fair. You don't have to, but you also got to understand that what comes with that disconnect is a disconnect. Because at this age and stage, who making new friends? Who's really introducing themselves over and over and saying, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite? Like, who's really doing that? So now if you coming in this space, it has to be some level of common ground and it has to be genuine.
Yeah, we too old for new friends.
We too old for that.
Yeah.
We too old.
We gonna take these 5-10 we got that we've been knowing since I was skinny, and we gonna keep with the Jerry girls.
Who meeting you at this stage of life is meeting you at this stage of life. They have not seen you through winter, summer, spring. They just happen to pop up fall 2024 and they like what they see. And I could rock with her. But you couldn't rock with me at 11. You couldn't rock with me at 15. You couldn't rock with me at 22. You couldn't rock with me at 35. So you picked 43 to want to be like, oh, I like her. It's something about her. No, what you seeing is something that you're attracted to in this moment. But if I peel back these layers, you wouldn't be able to handle it. Hence why I got to take the friends that I grew up with, even though some of them may be rough around the edges, they real. Mm-hmm.
That is real. Because the 35-year-old you, these new people might not have been ready for that.
They wouldn't have been. But see, with my real friends, I can be Teia at all times with them. But in certain spaces, I gotta be Teia Acker-Moore. I gotta be Miss Moore. I gotta be the magazine lady. I gotta be the Ebony and Ivory.
CEO,
I have all these hats
CFO.
that I have to be. I gotta be the church member. I gotta be all mom, all of this, friend. I gotta be all of those titles in certain spaces. With them, I show up as myself.
I got probably about 7 to 9, between 7 and 9, which I call the truthers. These guys, no matter what I say, if I'm out of pocket, they're gonna say you out of pocket.
Absolutely.
Dog. If I say, well, I did this, they're gonna be like, yo, fam, you dead wrong for that. And it's no guessing. I don't have to guess with them because they are never gonna yes man me.
Right.
They are never gonna yes man. They always gonna be 100. So it's no guessing. Because if you say it's blue, then it's blue. Because it's behind me, so I can't see it. But if you tell me it's blue, it's blue.
Right.
So it's always good to have that group of people. And I got a team that even when I'm on my BS, you know,
they call me on it.
When I be on my BS, they don't hesitate.
Yes.
And you know, they like to keep their foot in my butt if I'm out of pocket.
Yes.
But we need those people, right? Because those people we don't have to guess about. Yeah. So it's always good to have those people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what is one thing that people would be super surprised to know about you?
Well, I don't know, because I pretty much share everything.
Did you ever want to play like the violin or something?
No.
I mean, it's one thing that people don't know about you or be surprised to know that you like.
I think people would be surprised to know that somewhere inside of me, I'm really like a dancer. I'm talking about like
a crumper?
Like, no, not all of that. But like, I like to dance. Like anything. Like if I could go to Africa right now and let those kids teach me something, I'ma do it. I'ma do it.
I can see it in your eyes. You ready?
Yeah. Well, I gotta warm up this knee first.
Take a hot rag.
This right here is the 1999 2000.
That's
knee.
funny.
This is I don't know. What would people be surprised? I don't know. That I'm not as stiff as they think I am. Like I'm probably one of the funniest people if you got to know me. I just gotta feel safe because everybody like live and go live and do stuff. So I don't feel safe being places and doing stuff because I don't want to see it again when I'm in the middle of trying to get a deal with somebody and now it's like, oh, I just saw you on TikTok. Like what? Yeah. You know, so I don't know.
Well, I know that you are hilarious. And also, when we are having family times, we don't do the live thing. Because it's not about the people that's not here. It's about the people that's here. So that's why nobody would ever be able to see the 100 times that I've beat you in karaoke.
Yeah, I mean,
because we don't have it on video.
Don't have receipts, sir.
Don't have no receipts. But I do have a trophy that I'm gonna hold up.
Oh.
No.
I mean, y'all are excellent hosts. So if winning gets us to come back, you win. You win.
Stop.
But you know what? You said something very interesting because I had one of my guy friends, real solid individual, tell me, you know, Teia, people got to be in the space with me. Like, I don't feel like I have to advertise every time I'm someplace. If I show up and they're there, then we meant to be in the same space, and that's that. But I'm not going to broadcast my moves just so people can feel like I'm valid or like I'm moving or I'm doing something.
Or proof that I'm where I am.
Right. He was like, nah, I don't have to do that.
Told y'all I was gonna be at this concert.
Right. Yeah. Like, nah. You know, he just was all the way out the way until he needed to be in the way. And you felt how you felt. And I did not understand that in the moment because I was just like, that's dumb. That's just dumb. But the older I got, I was just like, man, you know, I really should have listened to some of the stuff he was saying because he was really like 10 years ahead of his time.
The good thing about that is you caught it and you're still young enough to use it and utilize it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about not the best, but one of the most memorable people that was on your magazine, whether it was something that happened that was really funny or something that happened that was you was getting ready to shoot and do the magazine cover and the ambulance came and rabbits just started falling out of the city. Just let's talk about that. If you can remember, what was one of the most one of the most memorable times? Who was it with?
So I'm going to do 3.
Okay.
The very first issue, Anzetta Roberts did the first issue. Nervous as I don't know what. We were all nervous.
Anzetta Roberts?
Yes. She's a native of Savannah.
Okay.
And she does beautiful makeup. But how I met her son had a stroke when he was like in the 10th grade. And she worked at Gulfstream full time, she and her husband, and they took care of their son. And I was like, this is exactly what this movement is about. You would never know anything different by looking at her.
Right.
She shoulders it well. When I say the mantra of resilience, that's her. So when I saw her in her glam, as she calls it, I was just like, oh my God, I want you to be first. And she willingly did it. And we had no idea where it was going to, for her to be the first issue, and we are 54 issues in. I had no idea. Yeah, volume 5.
Come through 54.
We had no idea what to expect. So that was like a breathtaking moment of excitement. And I forever appreciate her for that. The second one would have to be Cynthia Bailey. I met Cynthia Bailey.
That's Lee from the Housewives?
Oh, yes. Cynthia Bailey set it off for me year 2023. January 2023.
So now you got to elaborate a little. You got to let us know a little.
I was working with another young lady out of D.C. who was doing things for the magazine as well. And she and Cynthia Bailey were so close, and we were talking about female issues that, could lead to cervical cancer and different things like that. So we were talking about that, and her movement turned into working with Cynthia Bailey. So this is the power of support and people who believe in you. She didn't know me. She met me maybe once or twice, talked it up, and I said, I would really love to interview Cynthia Bailey. This is me casting that rod, hoping I reel it back in with something. I'm thinking, this girl don't know me. She don't owe me that. She called me and she was like, hey, let's get on a Zoom. Let's talk to her. Cynthia Bailey was literally, and this is how you know how real people are. I know we see the glitz and the glam, but she was literally preparing dinner for her family when she did an interview with me.
Wow.
Yes, walking around her house. She was opening her kitchen, refrigerator, like everything, doing the interview with me. And typically when we do the interview, sometimes I take the sound bites and I apply it to something, or either I take the visual. But because she was in her personal space and she made time for me, I didn't want to expose her personal space, but I was so grateful. And I mean, she sent the photo and I was like, okay, Cynthia gonna set it off January 2023. And it was like Happy New Year. Like, if anything made you focus on what your life was going to be like for 2023, Cynthia Bailey did that. And
that says a lot about you, though, right? The reason that says a lot about you, because how many celebrities and or super celebrities will take the time to call you back or take the time to respond to you back and say, let's do this.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know you.
Absolutely.
I've never met you, but somebody that I trust know and trust you enough to give me your information, so I'm gonna believe it. Let's rock with this.
Oh,
So that
absolutely.
says a lot about that says a lot about your grind and your journey, that it meant enough to other people to, you know what, like, they're not just gonna bring me no BS. So
Right.
let's get it. So
Right, and it's the integrity of the magazine.
So
Again,
kudos to that,
sending
man.
that out. Yeah, shout out to Cynthia Bailey. But then the other one was
me. So I like to think the first time I was on. No,
you know how many men? Oh my God, when you gonna get a resilient man magazine? I'm like, I'm a woman, so I don't know. I mean, but nevertheless, I had been reading books from Kimberly Lawson Robbie for years. And I reached out to her after attending something with her and was like, hey, I would love to interview you for the magazine. And what was so gracious about her, she caught a typo that I didn't. And she said, I know what you're trying to do. And as a writer, I'm going to help you out. Rewrote the whole thing for me and sent it back to me. And I was like, what?
That's huge.
Like, oh my God. We had I love to cross market. So we interviewed her on the bookstore side. And I was like, yeah, I got to pull her in. I got to pull her in. And I was just grateful for that. You talking about jaw-dropping moments. September was supposed to be Nona Jones. She had a new book coming out, and we were supposed to have her slated for January. Her team asked for September because she had a book coming out. And then right before we were getting ready to put it together, her team was like, well, you know how they hit you with the, I'm sorry, unfortunately, this, that, and other. And at first I was like, as a business owner, I was like, this is bad for business. Like you are letting me down for no reason. But I had to realize, it's her team. It's not her. And again, I still promote her and push her. But then it put me in a position where, like, what do I do? And then a teammate of mine, because again, we're not competitors. I'm talking to other magazines and saying, hey, I want to take resilience to the next level. How can I? And these people don't look at me as a threat. They're like,
Right.
okay, yeah, this is what you need to do. And here's some people, this, that, and another, connected with some agencies. And this month's cover is like one of our top sellers. Like, she is just incredible. I mean, I shout out to Shay Primus. She is incredible. And, again, I cannot narrow down one because I can't even tell you who's coming for October. But let me just say that if you are a fan of the NFL, just know I got somebody mama coming. Yes. Just know that. Just know that. Yes. October is Breast Cancer Month. It's also Domestic Violence Month. So we sticking with those two themes, but just know this is not a retiree's mom. This is somebody who's currently playing, who I am hoping can at least make it to the Super Bowl, because then, why not?
So that means it's somebody that's in the running. If I knew sports, I would try to help you.
They all in the running right now. This just happened to be week 1. Yeah.
Again, I know nothing about sports, clearly. So, if you could,
and shout out to Norris, Cornelius Norris. She is my beauty writer, but she's the one that plugged October.
Shout out to you for plugging
October. Yes, all the way in New York City. She was like, hey, she gonna do it. And I was like, thank you.
So if you could spend time with one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
The world gonna hate me for saying this, because somebody gonna always pick somebody that's dead, but they dead. Oprah, man, for real. If I could spend, I don't have one person. If I could spend, I got an hour. Give me 15 minutes with Oprah. Give me 15 minutes with Warren Buffett, 15 minutes with Jay-Z, and 15 minutes with Michelle Obama. I got everything I need to finish Earth.
Do you realize you just took the media, you just took the financial, you just took the hip hop and music? Okay, so we got Oprah, we got Warren, we got Jay-Z, and you took the presidential politics side of it. So that is a whole realm of...
Absolutely. Yeah. Because Jay-Z is going to give me street knowledge. I don't want him to tell me about current day Jay-Z. want you to tell me about old school Jay-Z.
You want Jigga, not Jay-Z.
Right, because that is what got you to this point.
Okay.
You took everything you learned from the street and became this person.
Okay.
So I need you to tell me that part. Because
Okay.
right now, I can catch up to you right
And you
now.
need the big Oprah.
Right.
Not the little.
I want TV show hosts that nobody invested in, and you
With
had
the
to
thing.
invest it in
With the-
yourself
with
at
the-
not 100%, but 80%, because they thought you were gonna flop. I need that Oprah. I need Michelle with the maiden name Michelle out of Chicago.
Okay.
Like
You need
pre-lawyer.
Shell.
Shell. I need her. And then Warren, I can take you left or right because
You just need him breathing.
right. No shade. But like seriously, all four of them at a table, round table for an hour, and I'm just gonna take notes. I don't even want to ask any questions. I want them to spit off the dome, and I'm gonna try to catch as much as I can in the hour that I have.
That is actually a perfect blend for a perfect cake.
Yeah.
So you answered by saying that. You just answered the question that I was getting ready to ask: Biggie or Jay-Z?
No, now.
I meant Pac or Jay-Z. Nas or Jay-Z. Nas or Jay-Z. Well, you want to spend time with Jay, so I just figured that Jay was going.
But right, you asking me music?
Yeah.
Or if I'm gonna go with the music,
Nas or Jay?
I'm gonna pick Nas.
Biggie or Pac?
I'm gonna pick Biggie.
Oprah? Not Oprah. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Come on now, Beyonce.
I don't.
It's nobody else.
This ain't Texas. Hey, listen. So we want to thank you for coming by and gracing us with all of your time and all of your presence today here
I appreciate
at
it.
Clever
This is big
Conversations.
energy.
Listen, man, we appreciate you. So how can people get in touch with you?
Listen, you can follow me on my social medias, Teia Acker-Resilient. You can connect with me on the magazine, www.resilientmagazine.com. Just find it. We on social media. We on all those things. So just connect.
Well,
Yeah.
there's one last thing before we leave.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Well, could you? Yeah. One last thing.
Oh, wow. What you got going on?
Thank you. We like to say thank you for your time. And although this is nothing near the Grammys, we don't have a Grammy budget yet. So we wanna give you this, and if you wanna open it now, that'd be great.
Listen, I am a sucker for branding. Look at this.
What does it say?
It says, "Thank you for having a clever conversation." This is too cute. I'm jealous because I want a box. Look, y'all. And it has my name. It has my name on it, and my name is spelled correctly. You don't know the level of appreciation I have for that. Look, I had a clever conversation. This is too cute.
What colors are those? Are those colors familiar?
They are a bit of crimson and cream. The Delta's dream. Thank you. Shout out to DST. Let me see what we got going on. This is so nice.
That is our platform name on all platforms. It's the Clever Conversation Podcast on IG, Facebook, YouTube, X.
Listen, this one right here, discipline will take you places where motivation can't. That is, listen, I appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's finish up with this a little bit.
I was ahead of you. This wine was good.
I'm not going to tell you because they ain't signed up.
Right. Y'all need a sponsor because as you can see, this wine was good.
And so was the bourbon.
Yes.
So listen.
Was that Beyonce's?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
This is my favorite, but we'll talk to them when they become sponsors. Listen, we want to thank everybody for coming by Clever Conversations today with Ms. Teia Moore. And we like to finish every episode here by saying,
yes.
2 fingers, 1 love. We out.
We out.